has become the recovery model for Ireland. And because we are seen as the recovery model, a lot of the services and service delivery is really focused on recovery orientated services. So much so that the CHIME framework, which is very much associated with GROW, with connectedness, hope, identity, meaning in life, and enablement and empowerment, is the framework that our health service executive has presented to mental health organizations as being the framework to work from. And that very much encompasses what GROW does and has done for over 65 years in Australia and 50 years plus in Ireland. So we're very much the recovery model. We are seen as an organization that supports people in a very meaningful way, with social connectedness as being one of our key areas for people who are maybe suffering from isolation. And we also provide a huge amount of leadership, and that's also recognised within the mental health community in Ireland. And I'm sure it's no different in Australia as well. So we have very much come to the fore in relation to the delivery of services in Ireland, and are seen as an organisation that can quickly adapt and move swiftly to the external environment.
From a background in psychology, I've really come to know GROW through working as an AC and then as working as a national program coordinator. And through my time working with GROW, I've seen it as filling a huge void in the mental health services in Ireland. It's generally an out of hours service, in the sense that our meetings are held sometimes in the evenings. It's a free service, which makes it really accessible to lots of people who can't afford the more expensive psychotherapies and psychologies. And it also, there's no referral procedure or waiting list or people being bounced from one person to another in order to try and access a service. So it makes it really accessible and easy to join, which is something that a lot of our other mental health services don't provide in Ireland. And then that accessibility as well, it allows people to build their own support systems through making friendships, through taking on tasks and building on their own strengths, and having a look at their weaknesses and being able to through group support decide on the best means of building, their strengths and trying to overcome challenges that come their way. So, and then we have the huge social aspect of weekends away, regionally, nationally, training days. So it helps people to bond and to become friendlier and build a big network of people to support and, through mutual peer support. So yeah, I think it provides a lot of things that a lot of the other mental health services that we have in Ireland today don't provide. So I think it's filled a really, really big gap. And the fact that it's here over 50 years, it's evidence-based, it's a program that's designed by people who've experienced firsthand mental health challenges, and that's really helpful for people who are going through the same thing.
GROW also is a member of Mental Health Reform and is one of the founding members of Mental Health Reform, meaning that we are always looking for change in relation to the Mental Health Act, in holding our government accountable for what it sets out in its own mental health plans, and also advocating on behalf of those who at this point may not have a voice, but will have a voice in the future. So we are supporting the change and the growth of mental health in all of Ireland, not just within our GROW members, but across the whole country, and hopefully making it a better service for everyone whenever they need it, or if maybe they have a loved one that is struggling with their mental health. So GROW has been very in the forefront of leading the charge in relation to the recovery model. actually shows the strength and the resilience of our Grow members, because we are always trying to build on the strengths of individuals, but that also has to translate into the strength and resilience of the organization. And we certainly showed the other mental health organizations that we were quite capable of transitioning to the online platform when the challenge was put to us. That has been recognized by our health service executive and has been highly commended right across the country in relation to how we quickly adapted to the COVID situation and the online platform as well. But that wasn't possible only because of the fact that we had the support and training from our colleagues in Australia. And without that support, we possibly wouldn't have made that transition as smoothly as we have. So we're very thankful to Grow Australia for the giving of their time and their generosity in providing us with the support that we needed in order to support our members here in Ireland.
Even in the last 2 years, we've gone through a huge amount of change due to COVID and the pandemic and moving online. It's becoming clear now as we hopefully move out of COVID that our online groups are here to stay. Lots of people who couldn't or wouldn't have accessed Grow prior to us moving online have now shared through their personal testimonies that our online groups have been a huge source of empowerment and connection for them. And they would never have been able to come to a meeting face to face. So we're delighted that we're spreading our wings and that we're being able to support people who prior to COVID we wouldn't have been able to support. So yeah, for the next 5-10 years we would like to piggyback on Australia's Grow app and continue to offer online support through the groups, through online courses. We've a new strategic plan coming out as well. So yeah, it's hard to say. I'm sure, like looking back on the last 50 years, we have pioneered the road as Michelle has said, we pioneered the road to recovery for mental health services in Ireland, and I'm sure that we continue to do so because we do have 50 years of experience under our belt, and lots of members have been with us for nearly those amount of years as well. So we're hoping that a lot of the members that are with us now will journey into the future with us as well. And just on we have a new leadership course coming out as well, which we'll be providing on an online format. And the leadership course, I suppose leadership is our thing in Grow. Every service seems to have their own little trademark. And I think the most beautiful thing about our leadership model is that people come in with very low confidence. They join Grow and they're not so sure about their skill base, or they may have been told at some point in their life that they weren't good enough or they weren't capable enough. And through a lot of persuasion and support, people start to find their own skill sets, and they're encouraged to start by maybe reading a few sentences of the program book, then maybe leading a meeting, then taking on a role. And we have wonderful regional teams, program teams, and a lot of people on the board as well who've journeyed all the way up through the leadership steps in order to fulfill their potential, and obviously they could go way further as well. And then those skills as well are transferable. So you see people taking on extra roles at work, or joining PTAs, or becoming treasurer or secretary in other roles as well, in other committees outside of Grow.
What sets us apart from other mental health services is the fact that we just don't, hold our weekly meetings and that's it. It is about the connections that people have with each other during the course of the week. But also, in addition to, having our Grow program, as Andrea has pointed out there regarding our leadership course, that is around self-development and developing the individual to attain the best that they can possibly be in relation to integrating back into their own communities and leading within their own communities as well, and passing on the Grow message to others who may be in need. So we're not just about the group at every during the week. It's a lot more than that. And it's about those interconnections with each other. It's about interconnections between not just your group members, but those within your region, which is expanding that social connection piece, and also into the national piece as well. So we would go from our regional weekends into our national weekends, and the bonds that are formed during those times are really everlasting. And it makes for enrichment of testimonies, experiences, and friendships, which is so important for every one of us. I'd like to wish Grow in Australia a very happy birthday, and here's looking to the next 65 years. So sláinte.
Much for inviting us here today to celebrate your 65th anniversary with you. We wish you all the best today on your celebration day and into the future. From all of us here in Grow in Ireland, best of luck and well done on how far you've all come.